Hey guys, how y'all been doing? Today I want to take a look at the interview Logan Paul had 2 days ago. So he had an interview on a YouTube channel. I'm not familiar with it honestly, but I'm gonna show you the most important parts in the interview. Obviously I don't want to show you guys, torture you guys for listening to Logan Paul for 30 minutes. Nobody really wants that. No person that at least is sane. That is why I am doing it. I'm losing my sanity for you guys. So if you appreciate that, then press the like button and let's get started.
Super rare. Were you not getting that feeling that you were getting out of boxing from the WWE stuff right now?
Boxing is just so much more intensely violent, and both sports have their danger and are both extremely primal. I often feel like I'm born in the wrong generation. Like I like the idea of two men, two women, humans going at it with all they have but their body. Like I don't know. I just feel like I'm built for it in boxing.
So if you really like the old times and two people handling it in a ring, why do you need to involve lawsuits and suing someone? That's just so counterintuitive. If you want to handle this situation with Dillon Danis, you're gonna show him who is the boss in the ring instead of all the lawsuits and stuff. It's just not something you should probably do in fighting. If someone is shit talking you definitely should not involve legal consequences. It really seems that's a stupid idea. It can literally like break shit talking in like a combat spot, because in a lot of combat spots like shit talking before a fight is how you promote a fight. And if everyone is just gonna like sue someone because he's saying something he doesn't like or she doesn't like, that just seems the end of that type of promotion.
When Mams Taylor first told me that you were going to be on this card, and then he told me the opponent, and this is not me trying to be a dick or anything, my initial reaction was why Dillon? Because let's be honest, at that point his Q rating was very low, and after pulling out of the KSI fight, it seemed like people had just kind of lost hope that he would ever fight again. And you seem to have had the pick of the litter. You could have gone in multiple different directions. So could I ask you that same question? Why did you choose Dillon Danis as your return fight?
You know, after I wrestled at SummerSlam, I jetted across the country to watch my brother fight Nate Diaz. And I saw you there, Ariel.
Yes.
And I told you who my opponent was. And you said this same thing. You said, why? Why Dillon Danis? You said, and I'll never forget it, you said, he doesn't deserve you.
One of the reasons you probably chose Dillon Danis is because Dillon Danis obviously is not a striking guy. He's a grappling dude. He's really good at grappling. He's a world champion if I'm correct. He's obviously not really a striker. Obviously you're doing MMA striking, but it is obviously not the main thing. He's not a boxer. Logan Paul would never call out a professional boxer because he knows realistically speaking he's gonna lose against a professional boxer. Obviously he's not gonna stand much of a chance. This interviewer seems to really be in Logan Paul his ass. I don't know the friendship relationship between Logan Paul and this interviewer, but it just gives me that vibes. And if you look at the comment section, people are saying that as well. He wouldn't really ask any critical questions.
I stepped back and I said, you know what, you're actually right. Why did I pick Dillon Danis? Because he doesn't deserve me, but he does deserve to get the absolute shit kicked out of him. And if I get to be that person, that's very exciting for me. Because let's be honest, nothing about Dillon's striking is mesmerizing. Nothing about Dillon's striking makes you think twice about his danger on his feet. But he's can sell a fight, bro. He's a good troll, and he's done a great job. I got all the back end. He has none of it.
It is like he's describing himself in a way, honestly, and he's saying that he is too good for Dillon Danis. Well, this is the same dude that literally recorded like unalive people on a camera I mean, this dude is obviously pretty delusional and pretty weird himself, because again, a person that records people unalive in a forest, I mean, there obviously is something wrong with you. I don't think I need to explain that, right? Not only that, he scammed his audience, not only that, he seemed to have a really big ego, so I would not be talking like that if I was Logan Paul, at least.
Wow. Were you surprised when he ultimately agreed to the fight? Were you surprised that he actually signed?
Yeah, a little bit. But it doesn't mean anything, to be honest. None of this stuff means anything. Even now, like, no one knows where his head is at. He is a delusional, irrational little crybaby who tries to come up with every single lie he can to rationalize his reality. And his reality is sinking in that October 14th is coming, right? When you sign a contract, for him, I'm sure he saw the opportunity to be linked to me, to be associated with me, have his name in the same sentence, suck the clout as much as he could, and he has. But the fact is, on October 14th, you're going to have to fight me. And I think that is setting in, and he's coming up with all these excuses.
Logan is saying that Dillon Danis is coming with all the excuses, but if you wouldn't have done the lawsuit, he couldn't have used it as an excuse. Like, there's no reason that you need to do the lawsuit at this moment. Obviously, you can do it after the fight if you really want to, but doing it right now is really stupid, because he can use that as like an argument or an excuse. It just makes you look like the person that doesn't want to fight. You could have done the lawsuit like a couple weeks after the fight, who really cares, but doing it at this moment is probably like the worst thing you can do, because Dillon Danis obviously is now in a lot of legal trouble and his head is in obvious different things than the fight itself. So it just seems like you are the one that really doesn't want the fight to be happening, obviously.
You know, let's be honest, you're not immune to that sort of thing. Like, you've rolled in the mud, so to speak, but it just kept happening and happening and kept getting more and more personal, it seemed. What are you thinking as you're watching all this unfold?
At first, I totally understood it. Like, I would do the same thing. Like, that's what you do to sell a fight. You prod, you poke, you get at the weak spots, and then the behavior became a bit stalker-esque. And then it's cyberbullying, then it's harassment, then it's committing a federal crime.
Stalker ass, like, no, a lot of those pictures are legit, like Google pictures you can find yourself, Logan. Your girlfriend just had a lot of boyfriends, and there's nothing wrong with that if you're fine with that, but that's the truth. A lot of those pictures are just previous pictures on like websites and stuff. Like, there are public pictures. Like, there's nothing stalking about finding those pictures and posting it on your Twitter, obviously. Nina is a model as well, so there are gonna be a lot of pictures of her obviously on the web. So I don't really think that is stalking when you can find the pictures literally with a Google search, but maybe that's me.
And so it's clear to me that his intention from the get-go was to pick a fight with a woman, because that's what a person like Dillon Danis would do. He's a coward. He doesn't want to fight me. He chose to pick fight with the woman who he's never met and has posted about over 500 times.
Coward, you are legit the one that starts with the legal stuff. If you're a real man, you could legit step in a ring and fight the dude and handle it that way. Instead, you need to go do legal stuff and lawsuits and this and that, which make you look like the coward, honestly. Obviously, like, I don't think Dillon Danis should go after someone's wife, but you know, Logan did the same. Logan did go after Dillon Danis' family, so it's all fair if you're doing it yourself, honestly. If you hit someone in the face and someone hits you back, you know, you shouldn't be crying. Logan did the same things like Dillon Danis did, so I don't really feel bad that Dillon Danis goes after Nina, honestly, but maybe that is just me.
A woman you've never met before on your phone with over 500 photos is fucking weird. And in that process, he chose to fight a two-front war. And so now that the woman who happens to be my fiance decides to take a stand up for herself, hold this predator accountable for his vile actions.
You can say Dillon Danis' behavior is harassment. I think that's pretty, you know, valid, but to say he's a predator, I think that's pretty much crossing a line. Dillon Danis never did anything to Nina in real life or anything like that. I feel like a predator is legit a weirdo in real life, and I don't think you should be using the word predator. Obviously, Nina doesn't like this. I mean, it's pretty obvious why Nina wouldn't like this type of content of her going around the web. A lot of memes and nasty comments about Logan's fiance, obviously, and I do think it was a bad move for Nina to go do a lawsuit, because that is only going to make things worse. The best thing you can do in a situation like that, what I've personally seen, is just ignore it or make fun of it yourself. But if you're gonna respond and gonna act angry or gonna do lawsuits, it's only gonna get worse. Like, people are only gonna meme you more, people are only gonna harass you more. So the best thing is, one, ignore, or two, make fun of it, or anything besides getting angry or doing lawsuits, because it just makes you seem like you're the one losing in that situation.
The response that Nina is exhibiting and the strength of her character is the reason that I asked her to marry me. This woman is incredible. I love her so much. She is the person who I want to mother my children, and I admire her, dude. Like, she honestly inspires me, and she's handling all this great. She handled it in the most mature way possible. She hasn't said a word about it, and she's going to hold him accountable where he needs to be held accountable, which is in the justice system. But it's completely unrelated to our fight. Like, again,
it is not related to the fight. You're legit suing the person you're gonna fight. I truly don't understand how Logan thinks this is unrelated. This is really related to the fight. Like, he can use this as like an excuse, and it's definitely something you should not do. I already said this before. If you're shit talking in a boxing or martial arts like circle, then you shouldn't sue someone, because it's legit promoting the fight. Like, I don't think suing and lawsuits should be involved in that process, because that's not gonna end well. Then everyone is just gonna sue each other, everyone is just gonna get butt hurt. I don't think this is a good trend to begin with.
he essentially incriminated himself right then and there. But I do imagine he's being fed content, because I have also made a fair amount of enemies. You know, there's people who don't like me, and by the way, no one.
Well, there are pretty valid reasons for not liking Logan Paul. I don't think I need to explain that, and you can see that in this situation as well. People that usually would defend someone like Logan's fiance aren't doing it, because obviously Logan's fiance is now connected with Logan Paul. If, you know, Dillon Danis would just attack Nina, and, you know, Nina and Logan weren't married or weren't like dating, everyone would defend Nina. But obviously, because Nina is now connected with Logan Paul, a lot of people don't like Logan Paul, so they won't defend like Logan Paul's fiance.
What does your gut say right now? Do you think you fight him on October 14th?
I do. I think he shows up. I think he knows how much he has to lose. So the pullout fee of $100,000 that he'd be punished with sucks.
Is that for any reason, like even injury, or does it have to be for a specific?
No. If it's an injury that's verified by a doctor of our choosing, then he doesn't have to pay it. But like, I don't know. Is this guy crazy enough to set his hand down on a table and whack a finger with a hammer? Like, maybe. Like, who knows?
Logan Paul truly thinks Dillon Danis is gonna hurt himself, so he doesn't need to fight him. I mean, that just seems like Logan Paul is a little bit delusional.
Handle it.
When you were face to face with him, for that face to face, how difficult was it for you to not get physical? Because that was like, you were in the heat of the onslaught on social media. How hard was that for you?
I didn't have difficult. I didn't want to attack him. I didn't want to. I don't know, dude. I've never been like a physically confrontational guy.
He's really contradicting himself. In the beginning, he was saying that he wants to handle it the old way in the ring, and now he's saying that he is not a physically confronting person.
You want him to show up, right? You need to resolve this, right? Like, you would be disappointed, no?
I would prefer that he shows up. If he doesn't, I will be more than happy to handle Mike Perry.
Okay. It won't feel like a letdown.
I don't know. I'll let Nina handle him in court.
Okay, fair enough.
We go slaughter him either way.
And just
phrase "we're gonna slaughter him either way" is just so cringe, honestly. It's nothing to be proud about. Suing someone just makes you look like you're the person that's losing, honestly. And if you want to handle this, then handle it just in the ring. There's legit no reason to involve a lawsuit, to involve legal consequences. Like that just makes you look like you're the one that's legit butthurt over the situation, and now he's like being all tough and saying he's gonna suffer anyway. Like, bruh, don't. This interviewer legit didn't ask one critical question. He was so in his ass, it was kind of awkward. They're obviously friends, but it's still like, don't do that. Logan, I'm gonna continue winning. Also, Logan hasn't won a single fight. The comments, they're all against Logan. They're making fun of the dude interviewing him. Logan Paul is a part-time boxer, a part-time wrestler, a part-time human, a full-time actor. Proud to say, I never drank a prime and I never will. It's all negative against Logan Paul, and even shitting on the interviewer. I mean, if you're an interviewer, you probably shouldn't be interviewing your close friends, but obviously you can never be neutral because of that. But I hope you enjoyed this longer video. I tried to dissect the most important parts about the interview, if you even can call it an interview. I hope you enjoyed it. Press the like button and I'll see you all next video.